attention. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to today's episode of Firecrackers. And we will begin by bringing you up to date with news that made headlines during the week. So we have two newly appointed ministers, Bernard Doro and Kingsley Ode, have been sworn in by President Bola Tinubu. The swearing-in, which took place inside the council chambers of the presidential Villa Abuja, happened on Thursday, shortly after the Senate confirmed Ode from Enugu State. Also, a group of indigenous contractors handling federal projects on Tuesday stormed the National Assembly to protest the non-payment of accumulated debt by the government. The protesters, carrying placards with various inscriptions, converged at the main entrance of the Assembly complex, chanting solidarity songs and demanding immediate payments for projects they said were completed over a year ago. Also, there was heightened tension at National Secretariat of People's Democratic Party as rival supporters of the two factional leaders, Abdurrahman Mohammed and Iliya Dabago, converged on the premises. Mohammed arrived at the Secretariat early in the day, where he proceeded to address a crowd of loyal supporters who had gathered to welcome him. Also, we have President Bola Tinubu congratulates Chukwuma Soludo on re-election as governor of Anambra State. Soludo was returned for his second term in office after recording a landslide victory, winning all 21 local government areas in the election. And now to stories that get our attention today. The federal government rejects the U.S. decision to list Nigeria as a country of concern, calling it unfair, misleading, and based on inaccurate information about the nation's security and religious freedom. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris said at a press conference in Abuja that the designation misrepresents Nigeria's internal security issues. These and many more gets our attention today. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to today's episode of Firecrackers. My name is Ibribami Salako. And now we will be going on a break before we get into the topic that we have at hand, which is Trump's threat to Nigeria should international interference be encouraged. We will first of all go to look at how election went in Anambra State yesterday. So observers and voters amid voter apathy and saying that there was a peaceful poll. Let's go after the break, and when we come back, we'll begin discussions on today's topic. To stay with us. A little bit on how the election went in Anambra State yesterday, and congratulations to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on his re-election as the governor of Anambra State. From us at Galactic TV, we wish him a peaceful 4 years. Now to the topic that we have at hand. This is one that all Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians have been talking about since last Sunday. And this is Donald Trump's threat to the Federal Republic of Nigeria on, should we say, invasion? I'm trying to look for a milder term to use for its threat to the country on if the federal government is not decisive when it comes to handling insecurity. And this is what he called massacre of Christians, which the Nigerian National Assembly is rejecting, that there is massacre of Christians going on. They are saying everyone is being killed regardless of your religion, regardless of where you come from. There is insecurity in Nigeria, but it is not targeted at Christians. And joining us for this discussion, we have Yinka Ogunsonya, who is joining us live from the United States of America. He's a retired USA major and a security expert. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us at this time. All right, we also have Niyi Aborisha, who is joining us live from Ibadan, a law practitioner. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. If you're not with us at this time. And in the studio with me, I have Dr. Yemi Omodele, a law practitioner too. Good evening, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Good evening, listeners and viewers too. Welcome you to today's program and episode. God bless you all.
Okay, all right. So now to the topic that we have at hand. Donald Trump is saying that hundreds of thousands of Christians have been killed in Nigeria with the cases of insecurity that we have been having. From your opinion, do you think that this insecurity we're experiencing is majorly targeted as Christians, or is just, should we say, land grabbing and quest for domination?
Well, you see, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is not particularized. it is generalized in the sense that whether you are a Christian, Muslim, traditionalist, or pagans, all share from the said insecurity syndrome. Now, the idea that it is only Christian, I am not subscribed to that. I am not talking about percentage, but all sector of the religion, be it the traditionalists, Christians, Muslims, they all share from such a experience. Therefore, it is not only Christians. All are involved. Now, the position of the said president mentioned is his own position, and he has said so. But what he has said may not reflect the true picture of what is happening in Nigeria. To be very candid, the Muslims are victims, Christians are victims, traditionalists are also victims. The pagans, they also share from the problem. Therefore, it is a problem everybody shares from. You don't need to be sentimental at all. It's a general issue that affects everybody. That is my take on that.
You're right. Thank you so much, sir. So before we proceed, we're still talking about insecurity in northern Nigeria. We have Kaduna State government explains peace initiative, making bandits lay down arms. So let's quickly see that break, and when we come back, we continue discussions on this topic. To stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Firecrackers, and we are talking about Trump's threat to Nigeria and should international interference be encouraged. So now, Dr. Omodele, if we are to look at what Donald Trump said, he said that his military would come in, they'll be swift and they'll be fast in order to eliminate terrorists in Nigeria. Under international law, is that acceptable?
You see, I will say something, that 2027 political strategy is loading. Yes, you see, Mr. Trump has his own agenda to pursue. I am not saying Nigeria does not have challenges in terms of security architecture. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that Donald Trump has his own agenda he's trying to pursue in this part of the world. Under international law and international humanitarian law, once a country is a sovereign nation, no other country interferes with the affairs of such a nation. Such country does its affairs within its spheres, the way it likes. Though there are some exceptions in which intervention could come under the United Nations Charter. Such intervention will be maybe based on seeking for assistance or maybe request. It can happen. Or exceptionally, where the use of force could come based on UN approval. But all what Donald Trump is saying or is trying to do is within his own power, not on the basis of United Nations instruction. And what he's trying to do is that he's trying to make himself and his country to be the most powerful globally. In that wise, if Nigeria seeks for intervention or assistance, then, and the country gives permission for the country's assistance, good and fine. But I am not sure that what Mr. Trump came out to say now is based on the request of the government of the day. It's based on his own personal thought and thinking. It is against the spirit of international law. You see, what he has done is a way of telling Nigerians that we are nothing, and that is not correct of him. Now, he's trying to tell the whole world that Nigeria is too small for his country. That is not correct. That is not the position of the law. Sentiment apart, people suffered a lot in terms of security problem and some other challenges in this country, be it Boko Haram, insurgency, and the rest. We are all pained about it. But for a president of an independent country to stand up and said his military men will invade another sovereign nation, it is an international embarrassment. It is uncalled for. And I say with all due respect that Mr. Trump has his own secret agenda he wants to pursue in this part of the world. It may be political, it may be economical, and it may be otherwise. But I said that 2027 political strategy is loaded. Yes, that is it. Because all these world powers, they have interest in Nigerian politics and economy. And the interest they have is to favor themselves. They don't want us to be, free in all angles. They want to be the do's and don'ts. They want to be the dictator. They want to be the kingmakers, which is wrong. In international law, international relations cannot be ruled out. The relationship between one country and the other brings about development amongst those countries. I could recollect it 1983, 1984. There was an issue in this country that happened. There was a man called Umaru Diko, yes, who was a minister under the then Shehu Shagari government and was alleged to have embezzled certain sum of money running to about $1 billion. Yes, I could recollect. Now, and when that government was toppled by the then Buhari military era, the Buhari military era attempted to whisk the said Diko from London to Nigeria. In the process, arrest was made at the airport. This issue I'm talking of led to breaking of ties between United Kingdom and Nigeria for about 2 years, because the diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and that very country broke down. And then in that wise, there was no diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and United Kingdom for 2 years until certain things were done and the normalcy returned. So what I'm saying in essence is that if Mr. Trump and his advisors do not know the implication of the threatening, it can lead to the fact that the diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and the United States of America may be otherwise, which will not be too okay. But I say with all due respect that for a particular country to have a security challenge, it's not solely meant for a particular country. It's meant for all the countries of the world. They have one or two challenges. Nigeria is not an exception. So why is it Nigeria that is saying should be fast, it should be smart? Yes, should be fast and smart. Does he know where those terrorists are staying in Nigeria? Does he know, is he the one that kept them in this country? If he is the one, well, good and fine. But if he's not the one, it's also to his own thinking. Now, I say that the federal government of the day should, without wasting time, may approach the International Court of Justice for possible redress, because what Mr. Trump has said is a disgrace to the country, to seek redress without wasting time. the Attorney General Administration with other team members swing into action and approach the High Court for possible redress. Because it's to the public domain, it's to the entire world domain. So what else? So because the issue could be addressed, then other countries of the world will now have a kind of rethinking about it. Then Trump himself will now know that what he has said is not too fair. We are not saying one country should not assist the other when there are challenges around there. But I am saying that you don't just stretch somebody. You just say, I am the only person. And no, it's bad. It's so hard. How will you say that you know the particular country more than the person reside there? Even though you have internet facilities doing this and that, you have drone, you have that one. But those things can only be done. You can only come to a particular country when invitation is extended. Without such permission, that amounts to another thing entirely. So the government can approach the National Court of Justice for possible redress on that issue. It's actionable, with due respect.
Okay, all right. So because if we are to look at Donald Trump's former tenure as US president, we've been having issues of insecurity in Nigeria since then, since as far back as when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, then the Dapchi girls. We've always been having this farmer herders invasion. So why is it now that he is particularly bothered about things happening in Nigeria? Like you said, could it be like a political ambition, or is it just now that he's realizing that Christians are dying in Nigeria?
I said 2027 political strategy is loading. It's pregnant with meanings, with due respect. You see, the world powers, all of them, the world powers, they have interest in our oil. They have interest in our coal. They have interest in our gold. They have interest in all aspects of our economy. Therefore, they have interest in our governance. They want a puppet that will be there, that they can easily remote, control, and manipulate. Now, look at one thing. Let me just say, for instance. We talk of money laundering in this part of the world globally. No sum of money can leave this country to another country without the knowledge of the host country. When those funds are being transferred or moved outside the country, why did all these countries refuse to raise alarm? The money would have been in their country for several months or years. Properties would have been acquired there. Investment would have been done there before they would not say there's money laundering. Why can't they raise alarm when the money is about to be taken out of the country so that we can easily bring back our money? They will not do that. They would have used that money to develop their country for several years and months before they will now say there is money laundering, there is this, there is that. The meaning is that they use our resources to build their country. That is what they are doing. And that is exactly what is likely to happen now. They may want to try to ensure that somebody they can remote, somebody they can control, somebody that they can tell, do it this way, do it that way, to be in the governance, so that they can achieve their aim. Now, look at it. Several years ago, Nigeria was colonized for some years. And then, in the process of the colonization, some of our artifacts were taken away to all these European countries. Now, so recently, some were returned. Having used those artifacts to make billions of pounds and dollars, they are now returning it. With due respect, returning those artifacts warrants compensation to be paid to the owners, to the copyright owners. Compensation ought to be paid to them because those artifacts were not federal government owned. They belong to individuals. Now they took it away. These people call Oyibos. They took it away, used it to generate billions of dollars and pounds in their country, used it to develop their country, and later said, we are returning those artifacts and sculptures to Nigeria, the source of peace and international relationship. It's all those things they are doing. I call it bobology. They are trying to use it to further deceive us so that they can penetrate and say they are nice. Nice for what? Now, if one goes detail in international relations and humanitarian law, you will discover that what the world powers are doing is to dominate the global economy. That is their target. Once they dominate everything, you want something, they give you. They use your money to even entertain you. At times when they say they give loan, I look at this, the scenario behind it. The money they give out as loan, who paid the money there? Who contributed the money? We are the one. I say with all this, we are the one. Can you be a member of IMF, ILO, and all this II like that without contributing money there? Who contribute the money? We are the one. So in Yoruba, they say, Owu abula fi sabula leyo. You use somebody's money to even entertain it. That's exactly what they are doing. Now, what Mr. Trump has done is an embarrassment to the government and the government of the day. And I say with all this that the government should do the needful so that we will not be caught unaware. But I say that the threat being made, he may likely withdraw such threat, or he may likely remodel it. Yes, because if steps are taken, he will redesign it. He won't say my soldiers will act fast. It will be smart. It will be this. He will reorganize it. He will like it, but the government of the state should take action. They should not keep quiet.
Okay, all right, sir. So if we are looking at some of the things that, the opinion that people are sharing, since Donald Trump got into office, he instigated this trade war with economies of the world. And one of the hardest hit is China. So recently, Trump and Xi Jinping, that is China's president, they met recently in Japan, and then they had a meeting. And it was shortly after the meeting that Trump declared that Christians are being killed in Nigeria, and then its military is going to come to intervene in the crisis. So some are saying that perhaps this is just a fight between US and China, because China has very good relationship with Nigeria. They are in our mining sector, and we know that recently China in retaliation to some of the things that US has been doing to them, they further guarded their rare earth. And these are minerals that are used for a lot of gadgets that we're using nowadays. So do you think that perhaps it might be true that this might just be a dispute between China and US, but they are using Nigeria as a battleground?
No, well, you see, it's likely, but may not be direct. You know, Nigeria, to be sincere, has a good relationship with China in terms of medical, in terms of engineering, in terms of construction, in terms of mining and the rest. And that relationship is developing into a good achievement for the country. The relationship had with that country, what America is trying to do is that it's trying to create a scenario whereby the closeness between China and Nigeria will be thwarted. Then Nigeria will now be running to the Americans that, okay, this is what we want. That's exactly what it's trying to do. Because if there is a problem in existence in the country, it will affect the smooth running of the China businesses in Nigeria. That is what the man is trying to do. But we should not allow him to do it before we stop him. And to stop him, federal government should approach the International Court of Justice for it, for interpretation, for adjudication. It will put an end to that. And the man may smartly withdraw his threat or redesign his threat, because the International Court of Justice has the jurisdiction to entertain such issues. And the countries of the world there, they know what is happening. The set of justices there, they are intelligent and they think deeply. They will look into it. But it is dangerous for us to keep quiet. It is dangerous for us not to take action. It is dangerous for us to allow the man to pull down our economy under the guise of religiosity. Let me tell you one thing. whether you are a Christian, whether you are a traditionalist, whether you are a Muslim, or whether you don't believe in anything, we are all working towards one goal. What is that goal? They call it eternity. Yes. If that is the goal of everybody, what is the need for somebody to stand up and say, so religion is killing so religion? That can lead to crisis in the country. And that is the target of Mr. Donald Trump, with due respect. He wanted a situation whereby crisis in Nigeria will never stop. Then his country will use that one as an added advantage to further exploit us and dupe us. Now look at it. People travel out to America, to Canada, Lesotho, Botswana, Equatorial Guinea, and the rest. You pay for what they call, is it visa fee or interview fee? If you gather the data of numbers of Nigerians applying for, is it America visa, whether residence, whether a business trip, whether tourism and the rest, it runs to billions of dollars every year. Therefore, America is using our resources to develop their country. That is exactly what they are doing.
And the Southern is not refundable.
It's not, below it's non-refundable. Non-refundable. When you pay dollars, they gather them when you go for the interview and you sit down, they look at you, they say, how many times have you ever been to America? And you respond, I've never been there. You are going for the first time. For what? I'm going for academic purposes. They look at you, they look at you, you just say visa denied. Your money is gone. Yes. 50 people may give. One may be fortunate, they will give. And at times, none of them will be considered. But what is the essence? So what I'm saying is this. America should allow Nigeria to develop its economy, to develop its security architecture. However, there could be a relationship when it comes to our security advice. What I know Trump should have done is to advise the government of the day. But he did not do that. He went and said, my soldiers will come in, have come and visit a minister of the war and like that to take steps and make sure that they do it fast and smart. He should have advised. There is nothing bad if training is given to some of our military men. Nothing bad about that. But not to give us what I call global disgrace. It's a global, and we call Nigeria giant of Africa. Now, I was reading it in a paper, was it a paper online this morning, that certain things will take place in South Africa, and America is saying it will not attend. So all those kind of things. So if you look at the way the world powers look at Africa, they look at Africa as a baby, which ought not to be so. As small as Republic of Benin is a sovereign state. Nigeria cannot just say he wants to invade Benin Republic. Now, as small as Togo is a sovereign state. Nigeria cannot say he wants to invade it. As small as Niger is Niger Republic, it's a sovereign state. We give Niger its own respect. America should give Nigeria its own respect. I am not saying killing people incessantly, unjustifiably is normal. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this. Give respect to whom respect is due. America can advise us, can give us assistance, but to say you will invade. The word invasion is an embarrassment to this country. And I say Mr. Trump should withdraw such utterances without further delay. But the present government, there are experienced people there, they know what to do. To seek possible redress at the appropriate court. It is allowed. That is just.
Okay, all right, sir. So what do we say about Nigerians themselves that are hoping that Trump actually comes to invade the country? There are even reports that were saying that big people in Nigeria, a big personality currently in Nigeria, even wrote a letter to the US clamoring the state of insecurity and asking for the U.S. help. So what do we say about such Nigerians that are probably the ones even throwing the door open for foreign interference?
Let me tell you the truth. A lot of Nigerians are ignorant. In fact, some who are well educated, they are ignorant about this area of the law we are talking about. I am not ignorant because it's my area of study. Now, Nigerians some of them are happy, some of them are right. It's because they are ignorant. There are procedures, there are steps to be taken. Not that for an individual to say, come and rescue us. Hey, some people will cry. Some people will cry. You see, there's a platform I have. So somebody just sent a kind of a write-up there that America wants to invade Nigeria. Blah, blah. I read it. I look at it. And some people are already planning to relocate from Nigeria to other countries of the world. I now look at that. Okay, what these people are saying is that they are ignorant. The president of Nigeria is not a minister of Donald Trump. He's not a minister of Donald Trump. Neither is he a governor in his state or in his country. He's president and commander-in-chief of armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As Donald Trump is also his own commander-in-chief in his own country. That is exactly what is happening. We are sovereign, we are independent. We do our things now. We do it the way we want to do it. That is it. He too does his things the way he wants to be doing it over there. I will just say that there is a department in this country called National Orientation Agency. This is the time for them to swim into action, to go on air and educate Nigerians on certain things when it comes to international relationship between Nigeria and some other country, so that people will not go astray. Because some people think it's a thing that the pastor will just enter church and say, everybody let us pray. And you close your eyes, you pray, say, God bless you. They say, amen. That is not the when you talk of invasion. Oh my God. God will not let us see bad days. But I will say that those Nigerians who have been ignorantly saying America should invade Nigeria, try to be careful. The law does not allow that. It's nationally. And globally, it is not allowed. Number two, if such a thing happens, all of us will suffer for it. But we don't pray for that. Then another thing is, some of Nigerians who always, they love to write what I call love letters. You send it here and there, go to America, everywhere. You start writing it. Before you write those letters, try to seek legal advice from competent lawyers to advise you international. Because some of those letters we wrote, what I call, call it keep in view, the KIV, because it has no width. The only person who can send a letter from Nigeria to another country's president is the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is the president of this country, or his assigned agent. No any other person can do that. Even the governor of a state cannot do that. House of Assembly cannot do that. Chairman cannot do that. Let alone some set of people I call gathering of comedians. Just carry biro and start writing a sign. I even saw a video clip where they went to America and met a particular president of America there and carry a letter. I also saw a video clip there. I think UN, some people, a gathering of also comedians. They carry a letter, they took it to UN and said they want to submit it. Under what capacity? That is ignorance. And some people, I even saw some educated persons among them speaking fluent English and saying that this is the end. We are going to do this, we are going to do that. Under what capacity are you doing that? That is ignorance. You don't have such power. If you have anything to channelize to the government of the day, if it's at the state level, channelize it through the State of Assembly, or to your governor directly, or through a commissioner. If it is federal government, the rep members are there, the senate members are there, the ministers are there to the president. Then if it gets to the top can now forward it. Not you carry your letter from Dana Sogo local government and say take it to Isodara. And UN is not there. It's not heard anywhere. It's not. But these things are happening because they don't know what the procedure is. They don't know the law. They are educated, but they don't know what the meaning of education is. That is the major cause. So I think your station has been trying and has been doing good in this aspect of issues. The station should keep on doing it so that Nigerians will know the positive from negative. Gathering of comedians, carry letter and wrote it to a particular president. Come and assist us in our country. Under what capacity? Oh my God. Under what capacity? Ignorance. It's ignorance. You don't have such power. You don't. You can channel it through your assembly to government, to rep, to senate like that. Then when it gets to talk, they look at this. This one is, what is the content of this is reasonable. They can now refine tune. Okay, let us seek for this. Those ones that are not useful, the truth away. Those are the ways. They just carry you enter aeroplane here. British Airlines collect your money, your dollar or your naira. You go there. You spend 4 nights in an hotel. You submit what I call a mere tissue paper letter. You think immediately you submit it, they will then come to Nigeria. Nigeria is not like that too. No aeroplane can land in Nigeria without the permission of our aviation sector. You can't land. They should go and study that area. You cannot carry an aeroplane from, let's say, India coming to Nigeria, and you just come and land there without permission. You can't land. They should go and study it. It's also under international law. You can't land that way. It's not done. So you just want to come and enter Nigeria as if you are moving from Ikeja to Mushi Market. No, it's not so. It's not so at all. It's not so.
Okay, all right. Because when this was going on, some people were saying that, oh, there's nothing the government of US could do in Nigeria since they don't even know the topography. They don't have the maps. And some people were saying that they would be shocked that some Nigerians are even helping them with the map and the terrain of Nigeria. Is that not unpatriotic? And is it not punishable under the law?
Let me tell you what. So Nigerians, whom I call lover of money, when you give them 10,000 naira, they will sell their birthright. They are there. They can do it. But let me tell you, there are those information I call it divulge, is unfair, and it is a crime. But those ones they divulge, they release today, cannot assist America. Don't let me deceive you. It cannot assist America. Do you know that there is a particular ministry, a department in this country that monitors everything that happens in Nigeria? If you don't pass through that department, the person we meet is Waterloo. The map they are looking at is a map. They can use, they have one they call it drone. That one can fly from here to anywhere, control them. They can do that one. But there is still need for permission. Are you aware that you cannot even fly drone this one without license? Are you aware? If you are aware, how would that drone skate through? How will it skate through? Let's go technologically, and then we go to law, because law and technology, they are interrelated. Law, technology, law, together. How would they achieve that? So we shouldn't create fear where there is no fear. We should be bold and resolute. But I also advise those people who believe in killing their fellow human beings should desist from it. The Christians are preaching eternity. Muslims too, they are preaching eternity. The traditionalists too, they said we are going to heaven one day. Good and fine. Fasting and prayer here and there. These prayers, whether you are the Muslim, pray it well so that these people can repent and stop killing Nigerians. I think that one will also assist us. Let's be sincere. We keep fasting and praying. Let us pray. Let the mountain move. And these people repent and change. A good live. That will also assist us. So if that one assists us, do you think we need any military intervention? If it is true that we go to church, we preach, we do this, and people take it to practice, do you think we need any military? We don't need it. But where are we? People killing Christians, Christians killing this one kill that one. Where are we heading to? And the Bible says, thou shalt not do, thou shalt not kill.
But Dr. Modele, when it comes to discussing religion in Nigeria, in churches, people know that there are thieves there. They know that there are murderers there. But then they use the word repentant for them.
Yes.
And then if you as an average person that probably is not a member of the church, if you're this person is this and that, they will tell you, you have no right to judge the person because the person has already been forgiven. So the person can move in their midst. We have pastors who go on air to say outrageous things that they've done in the past. And one would be wondering, why is this person not locked up? But then under the religious saying, they will say, oh, they've been forgiven by Christ and no one has the ability to judge them. So should that not be categorized as one of our problems in Nigeria, especially when all religion, all preaches that human life is sacred. You should love your neighbor as yourself in whichever variation that you would want to put it. The golden rule, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. But everyone keeps hiding under religion and then they keep doing a lot of outrageous things. How do we solve that problem?
You have gone to a very good area that I like. Religion is not the problem of Nigeria alone. It is the problem of Africa. All African countries. It's our problem, religion. People say they want to go to heaven. Nobody ever say he wants to go to hellfire. Even the people they call Babalawos, they will tell you they want to go to heaven. They don't want to go to hellfire. And then preaching here and there, this Christ of church, Christ, this, that, is our, all of them. Every day. They are preaching. If you go around Lagos today, you see that the road is very free. You know the reason?
Yes, sir.
The Muslims, they go to what they call, I think, Salatu. The Christians, they go for what? Church service. Good and fine. But tomorrow when they get to work, you see another crisis. Then some of them, when they are coming back from where they go to worship or where you see them on the road, a car bashed the other, you see them, the person was singing sonorous song in the church, turn to another thing. So, religion is our problem. And don't let us deceive ourselves. These Oyibos, they brought this problem to us. I say with all due respect. They brought it to us. They brought it. When they brought it to us, we took it. We now overuse it. We overuse it. Now, if we look at it critically, in the number of churches in Nigeria, estimate is thousands. There is no street you can pass through.
There we say millions.
Oh, let's say millions. Now, I say no street you will pass through in this country. You see let's say at least one church. And at least, let's say, okay, 20 members or 10 members. If we put into practice what is in the Holy Book, we shouldn't have problem. There shouldn't be anything like corruption. But you see, the people that donate most, these are people who I call Ugolobos. They go there, and at the end of the day, you hear sonorous song hailing them. Some pastors even assist them to fast and pray for the cases they have in court not to have an end. And at the end of the day, they will still go and glorify God. As it happens in Christian, it also happens in Muslim. Even the Babalawos or the traditional, it also happens. So where are we going? Is that not a deceit? For you to use religion to be exploiting your people, to be creating confusion. So all this confusion being created is what informed what Donald Trump said. He is a Christian, good and fine. The Muslims are there. Now, if you look at it from the dangerous utterance of Donald Trump, they say Christians are. What about if another Muslim country president now come out and say this to Muslims?
Muslims are being killed.
Yes.
And
What
they
do you
are
think?
coming in
Don't you
swiftly.
think that Donald Trump did not think deeply before he said what he has said? He did not. I'm sure he did not make a detailed consultation. He just went on there without having a rethink about what he wanted to say. I say with all due respect that it's unfortunate that President of America is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the other people. There are many religions in the world. You have the Judaism, you have others, and some countries are into those religions. What about if those religion people now say their members are also being killed in Nigeria? What do you think will happen? That is why I said the government should swing it to an action to address this issue so that we can have a global cleansing. Then we can have a judicial backing. That is what I mean.
Well,
You don't use religion to deceive people. What did you say? We are going to heaven. I asked somebody one day. He was preaching to me that I said, come, I'm a Christian. But my own Christianity is different from the one you do. He said, no, blah, blah, blah. He started talking. And I said, come. If I go to hellfire, what injury do you suffer? Am I a member of a family? He said, no. What injury do you suffer if I go to? You don't need to preach to me. I am to read the Holy Book and to interpret the Holy Book and observe what is the Holy Book. So you don't need to say heaven, hellfire. You don't need to say that. Because I am aware, everybody goes to heaven the way he likes. You can pass through the Christianity, you can pass through the Islam, you can pass through the other traditional. So far you get to heaven, you get to heaven. And we are expecting that day to come. That is the day everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to go to hellfire. Holy, holy. That is what we are hearing. We are expecting holiness to come.
Okay, very quickly, Dr. Mondili, if we are to, after Donald Trump's statement,
Yes.
how would you gauge Nigeria's reaction? Do you think our reaction was well managed? Because if the statement was said was to create uproar, because Nigerians are actually very emotional people,
Yes.
especially when it comes to things of religion. But with that declaration, did you think that it had negative impact on Christians feeling victimized or Muslims feeling like they were wrongly accused of things that is happening in the country? How would you rate our religious terrain after that announcement?
It's a sentimental statement. It has created sentiment amongst the religion people. It has created it. Whether Muslim to Christian, it has created it. Because the Christians are now saying Muslims are killing them. The Muslims are also saying they were killed. The traditionalists are now saying, where did you keep us? Our members were also killed. So it's a sentimental statement, which is not a good statement that ought to come out from me.
And some people in the southern area of Nigeria also saying Christians are also killing Christians. So at the end of the day, what we have is people killing people.
People killing people.
No.
I've witnessed a case where a particular pastor was charged for murder and was found guilty because he killed his church member. What did they say that time?
That's a Christian who killed a Christian.
Yes, that's Christian. A pastor killed his church member. What did Christians do that time? What did they do? They kept silent. So what are we talking about?
Okay, all right. And then with this announcement too, how do you think that has probably rejigged Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, in actually being serious about targeting these perpetrators of insecurity around the country?
You see, no government wants its administration to be disgraced in terms of security challenges. Though the government may be working in ensuring that those areas are addressed. And I believe a statement may be issued later. But I think such threat made must have gingered the government to address the challenges being faced.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Obodele. Sadly, we've run out of time. This is a very interesting topic. The one I feel like we could spend hours of the day talking about it, and it will not be exhausted. Many thanks for being here with us today. We truly appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much.
All right, and many thanks to our guests who tried to join us virtually but encountered problem. We truly appreciated your effort. So this is where we'll be drawing the curtains close on today's episode of Firecrackers. We thank you so much for staying with us to the very end. My name is Iribami Salako. See you same time, same station next week. To have a lovely week ahead. Bye-bye.